it's Super Turbo time. Now, this isn't the first time the Super Turbo has been on the ramp, but it is the first time that it's been in this unit. Now, it's been neglected, and this is one of the most difficult cars I've ever owned, and it's probably now the most neglected car. A few of you guys have been asking what's happening with it, so I've decided to try and save it. I've had this project since COVID, and it's one I started with my son at the very beginning of the channel. We did have it running, but not for long, as I left it over winter in minus temperatures without enough antifreeze in it, which popped the core plugs. After fixing that problem, we still had more issues. That's a bit, there's something not right. It just nosedived on me there. It just dives. Fast forward to today, and it's sitting gathering grime, begging to be saved next. Similar circumstances to the Nissan Pulsar. I fell out with it, it sat there, it got neglected, and then again some motivation, and now the Pulsar is one of the best cars that I own, and it deserved it, and it's now rewarding. So I want to do the same attitude with the Nissan March Super Turbo. Few of you OG subscribers will remember this car. We have done a little bit, and there's been a little bit of character, and there's a bit of a story with this already. Last year the core plugs popped out because I didn't have enough antifreeze, so they're down in there. You'll not see them, Michelle. And we thought the timing was out, so we squared up the timing. We've done the core plugs. I have done the pod filter so that it honks. We replaced all the vacuum on this side of the car and done the inlet manifold gasket, because the inlet manifold is water cooled and it was leaking at the same time as the core plugs. But the car has just never run right since the day I got it. We're going from supercharger to turbocharger. Yes, it has both. It starts off low with the supercharger, and I'm not sure there's a crossover point, and the supercharger shuts down and the turbo takes over, which makes this supposedly quite nippy off the line. I've never experienced it. Now, I did buy a smoke tester to try and figure out some of the vacuum issues on this, because this is spaghetti junction and it's so difficult to work on this car, and the parts, there basically is none. And all of this, or most of it, is controlled by this little UFO, which is what it's known as in the Super Turbo world. And if that is goosed, then I'm goosed, because you cannot get them anymore. A lot of these parts are discontinued, and there's not even much information either. There has been a few people who have helped me even to this point, so I'm hoping that we can continue that back on, including Marty from Mighty Car Mods. Yep, that's true. He has helped with some of the issues, and he has his own suspicion with what is wrong with the car, and he's gave me something that I need to do, so I'm hoping to do that. So we're just going to dive in and we're going to see what we can do. First thing, Michelle, what do you pick?
I really want to smoke test it.
Smoke test.
Smoke test it so many other cars.
So there could be perished vacuum pipes, loose vacuum pipes, incorrectly routed vacuum pipes, and a good indication of that will be to smoke test. So we'll take the pod filter off and we'll smoke test it first. The smoke tester is a must-have tool for me these days. It's brilliant for tracing boost and vacuum leaks. I simply plug my smoke line into the system and let it build pressure. That's if the car battery has some charge, which this one doesn't. It's going to die, isn't it? It's just starting and all, but it's not got enough juice. So what I've done is the batteries are dying, not giving us enough pressure. So I've put two Stanley blades onto an M12 Milwaukee battery. Michelle's holding it there. It's running it a lot better now, so we're getting pressure. And we're getting a little leak in there. I don't know if it's from there or in underneath this red. hose. But we're definitely getting a leak. It's only ever so slight though, to be honest guys. It's actually so the smoke test, because it's leading us slightly to the turbo, I was expecting a lot of smoke, and that's not really happened. Just have a wee look in case it's heading out the way, but it always rises. I was either expecting a lot because it was loose connections, but we're not really getting that. So it's a little bit towards the turbo, but we can't rule out anything else just yet. So the smoke test, although it's been a little bit successful, it's overall been unsuccessful because it's not giving us something major. If we had that slight leak, we would have a boost leak. We wouldn't have no boost at all, and currently we're getting no boost at all. So we're going to now switch the smoke tester off, and we're going to head to testing the wastegate on the turbo, and then we'll test the UFO with the Mitivac, and failing that we're then going to need to go to diagrams. And we've plumbed everything on the left hand side of the engine, and we're quite happy with that. We're going to need to look at the right hand side of the engine, because if I've mixed a couple of the vacuums up, the vacuum that should be, that's leaking, the vacuum that should be going to the turbo could be going to the crossover pipe, and I could have something mixed up. So we're going to have a wee look at that, but there's no clear indication of broken lines right now.
On to the next bit.
Yeah, on to the next one. Right, Michelle,
Yeah.
you focus on this rod here. Right, can you see?
Yep.
Right. Does it move behind is the question? I didn't think that would have moved. That's not to say that we just didn't unstick it, because there's a bit of force going through that. Right, next test. This isn't going down the way I thought it would. Marty's telling me I've wired it wrong. I've plumbed it wrong. That's what Marty's saying. He says two of them, and he's telling me this because he done it as well. And he's telling me I need to swap two around about. I've plumbed two the wrong way.
So really you have to change them first to see if what Marty's saying is correct.
I need to do that before I strip the
and then we
turbo
can
off.
strip the turbo off.
But I still think there's a turbo issue here.
Who's going to be right, Marty or Paul? Marty or Paul?
Marty's obviously well better than me. But the thing as well though is, I've got no way in seeing how much boost pressure I'm generating. In a car I could go to live data with my OBD scanner, check the live data, it's giving me, there's a boost controller there, there'll be a boost pressure sensor, it's giving me a figure, and I'll be able to diagnose based on that. I have nothing here.
So see the software that we've got for the pulsar, does that not exist for the...
No. So somebody created that or whatever, it's not a thing for this.
Okay.
I think I've tried that before. It doesn't share even the same plug. So that adapter style that somebody's used. But the problem is I've not got an engine management light on, which a lot of the times if you've got turbo issues like we've seen in the Nissan Qashqai and the Vivaro van, there was no engine management light.
Yeah.
So it could, they're still digging. But in the meantime, we're going to switch our focus from there to the UFO.
Okay.
Because if it's no working the crossover valve,
It's game over.
that's bad, like, because you can't get them. Another test, I've got it started, and if Michelle comes over here, if I disconnect this middle one, just listen to the engine, you have to listen. And you can actually hear vacuum coming through it as well. That one's got vacuum as well. So this one is the reciprocating vacuum here as well, look. So that might be positive. Yep, we're getting vacuum. A lot of people were saying that UFO issues cause supercharger issues, and I seem to be at the scale after that, the crossover scale. So what we're going to do next, while we wait for a response there, is we're going to strip all this down on the right hand side, and we're going to see if we can get the diagram and check the plumbing.
See if Marty's right.
See if Marty's right. Let's hope and pray. So let's do that now. Pulling parts off this engine is never easy. There's not much room in the engine bay due to the amount of vacuum and piping needed to run the complex but genius dual charge system. Fortunately or unfortunately, I've had this apart a few times for different reasons, so I'm familiar with how it all comes apart. That one there can only really go on the one place. And then look at the middle two. The middle two are a lot bigger, and I've marked them with white dots. I think it's going to be a dick. So if we have a look inside there, there's lots of little ports, holes. Can you see that, Michelle?
A little bit.
What if I do like this? See
Yep.
the holes?
Uh-huh.
So that's a vacuum chamber. And if you look, there's three sizes there, so only those two there could have been mixed round. I should have marked them. So I could have just swapped them first. But I'm actually going to trace this back as far as I can, and then use the diagram to route the vacuum. Because the vacuum kind of goes from this side into the middle, and then it's like piped, and then it comes from pipe out to here. So we'll need to actually follow it from left all the way round to right, in case when we lose it behind the inlet manifold, that's when we're mixing up. So if I can follow all the way from one side to the other. Now this is an issue. This is the crossover valve that we mentioned. So you can see there, it is piped to the turbo. Another thing could be that this could be goosed. It's electronically controlled there, using data, and then it's going to open and close the valve in there. I've had it off before as well, but it is a nightmare. It's a nightmare. So, but I don't have any option. I need to be able to see all the vacuum from one side to the other. And the only thing I've got to do that, a couple of diagrams. So wait to see this, wait to see this. Look. That's the diagram. Now that is mental. That's the diagram we need to use right now. The good thing though is this has got colours on it, and this is where I struggled with the pulsar, and then someone done a colour diagram. So if it's got green from the left hand side, surely that's going to feed. If it's got green on the left hand side, surely that green track's coming all the way to this side. Surely, so we're going to have to try and follow that, and the same with the purple and everything else. It is confusing. So that blue one comes out the vacuum accumulator thing on that side, comes through the junction, so there's the junction part there, and then it goes round the back and it goes into this, that looks like a control solenoid thing, then it comes down, round another metal pipe, out the back to this thing here, no idea what that even looks like, and then that red one there, so there's another valve there as well, looks like a solenoid. Right guys, bit of time's went past, Michelle come round. So using the diagram, I've indicated each one as I've went along, and I've traced from one side to the other. So I've got green coming out here, I've got red coming here, a solid pink, a blank, a pink and purple, a yellow, Blue's in there and white's in there as well, tucked away, but those all seem correct. And this is where they came from and where I think they should be. So this is a vacuum chamber, and there's little holes in there that we've seen earlier, so I don't really think you can mix them up because it's just really taking vacuum. I've got the solid pink going into there, the blank one that branches off for the supercharger comes into the middle, and then one that comes from the UFO side to here. And after that, the green is going to go into this side of the hose, and the yellow that's came up out into there as well. So I don't think I've plumbed it in correctly, which...
That sounded like I don't think I plugged it in correctly. Like...
No, I don't think I plumbed it in alright.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't think I have done it incorrectly. Yeah, I understand that. So, I think I've done it right, but it will not swap off the supercharger to the turbocharger. Now, we now need to look at the turbocharger. Is the turbocharger goosed? And that's why it's not switching in. Is the valve no opening to allow the turbo to kick in? So these are questions that need answered next. How I'm going to go about that, I've not decided yet. I'm either going to see if I can take off this crossover valve. Could it be seized? Can it be worked electronically? Can I force electricity into it to see if it will move? That would be interesting. Or do I take the turbo off? This is the part, I mean, it's so complicated. So if you think about it, the supercharger's driving all the time because it's belt driven, and the turbo's driving all the time because it's exhaust gas driven. Where is the air going when where is the air going when the turbo's not working? When it doesn't need it? When the supercharger's working, where does the turbo air go? Get what I mean? So where does the air go from the turbocharger when the supercharger's working and the turbo's waiting to do its job? So is it just no? I don't know, because what I would like to do, because we don't have diagnostics, is try and get some sort of boost pressure. How we could do that? Could I tee into something and get a gauge on somewhere? Let's, because we're actually so close here just now. Let's get a look in at the cold side of the turbo and see if there's anything we can see. Maybe the fins or the propellers or something's broken, and that's why it's no firing up, it's not boosting up. So I'll do it now. I know you can't see it from my fingers, but it's moving. It is moving, look. So, but that's not to say that the hot side's not failed. You know what I mean? So the hot side's working and the cold side's working. Would you then look at the crossover valve? I don't know. Or is it something else wrong with all the other?
These are not words I want to hear.
It's just mind-boggling, man. I feel for people who worked in these cars in a garage back in the 90s, in Japan especially. I'm stumped. I'm actually stumped. I need my phone to start pinging for people off the... Marty, help me, Marty! Right, viewers, next step, I have removed the bypass valve, which was the big valve was in there. And the reason I wanted to do that is because it controls the shut off from the supercharger to allow the turbocharger to take over. Now, I've took the small cover off and I used a vacuum on this side, Michelle. And so one side's vacuum, one side needs air pressure. So if I blow in this side here, we can see the flap. I've got the flap closed just now. Right, so the flap's half open, half closed. And the flap's moving. Now it's the same. If I blow in this one here, it won't. If I suck on it with a Metivac, it will. Now, you can see there it's 50-50, but then it was asking the question, well, what does this wee guy here do? So I took the cover off to have a little, as you do, a little bit curious, and there's a little plunger there, and you see if the plunger goes in, it closes it over, and it switches it fully closed. If I push it back again there, it pops back out, see? So it's sitting 50-50. It might be 50-50 on startup for idle. I don't know, I'm just guessing. Somebody obviously knows. And I could go and read all the posts and the threads, but we've got fully open, fully closed and 50-50. Now, we know that if I suck on one bit and I blow another bit, this isn't sexual. It works. Is that right, Michelle? If you suck in one bit and blow another bit, it works?
Just when appropriate.
Everyone else thought of that before I did. Let's be true. Now, this wee rod, I can't, it's the parts, it's the Super Turbo. This wee rod needs to plunge in and out. So the next question is, it's electronically controlled, so is there a fault in it? So I've got the battery set up here on the charge, and I'm pinched something. I don't know how I did that, Michelle. Was it this way or was it that way? But anyway, if I go on here, so it works. So that's just me sending electricity to it to manually control it. So it's fully closed now. Next question is the power getting to this? Is that solenoid? Is the power getting to it? It's the next question. So we need to test power at the plug, because if it's not getting the power, then it's not going to do it. And is there a fuse for it? Could it be blowing? I don't know, I'm just guessing. Ugh. Right, so all we can do now, and then the next question as well is there the right amount of vacuum getting there and the right amount of air pressure getting there? Which is the white hose and a blue hose. But to test them, we really need the engine running. And to run the engine, everything needs to be put back together. Then it makes it very difficult to test. So, we've built the car back up and it's back where it is. At the end of all that footage and all that testing, I still don't have a definitive answer as to what is wrong with this car. And it's kind of breaking my heart because I've never ever given up on a car, but this one could be the first one that I ever give up on. This is pretty much a cry for help. We don't have a definitive answer yet, and the testing that we've done pretty much shows that the UFO is okay. I found a Japanese manual and we tested it, and the UFO seems to be okay. Everything's okay, but we're still overfueling, we're still bogging down, and this is a cry for help. We're about to finish the Integra in the next episode, and we really want this to be the follow-up, as the dream has always been to sit this car next to the Pulsar and then eventually have an R34 and have the kind of dream trio. But right now this is putting a dampener on all of that. So we're asking for help. If you have got any experience with these cars or any knowledge on how this system works, please let us know in the comments. And if you could like the video so that it spreads to someone who may have the answer that we're looking for. This car has sat here for 4 years now and I can't afford it to sit here for much longer. The channel's getting crazy now and it needs to work, or the weakest cars are getting the chop. So with that in mind, thanks for watching this episode, and hopefully the Super Turbo will see you on the next one.